live! Hey everybody! It is Sunday night. It is Atop the Fourth Wall plays The Outer Worlds. We are back! No more spooky times. It's time for space. This is the space stream now. While I'm showing, anyway, enjoy my non-spooky shirt and my non-spooky 3D printed magnet here.
You know, I gotta say, I'm not very afraid of those.
That's not very frightening because it's not spooky season anymore. But yes, this is what I've been working on. I think I mentioned this the last time. Maker World has this wonderful way of creating keychains and like little objects. Going from image to 3D printed thing. So I'm making magnets of the logos, and we're working on. I mentioned before that like Magic Steve had put together some for the Atop the Fourth Wall logo, but we actually discovered something as J Manor Productions, who by the way I'm going to announce now is working on the DVDs. There will be some future announcements for art related stuff in the future, but I will say that he is working on replacing the DVD covers. J Manor Productions did the title cards for a little bit when Vega had to take time off to work on another project. So J Manor is working on the DVD on the replacement DVDs, but they discovered something about the original logo. It turns out that the font for Atop the Fourth Wall is a Blambot font that is free to use with certain restrictions. Like using it on my website is fine. Using it on my on the regular show is fine. But if I'm going to sell things, I need a license for that unless it's an indie comic. So, and this is not an indie comic. So I contacted Fabio Fontes, who made the original logo, and he made a modified font to get around to copyright issues. So I have to reprint all these. And unfortunately, you can't see it. You probably can't see it very well, but the yellow and the black are kind of bleeding into each other. Magic Steve has worked on a new version that we're going to give a test run to right now. That's what the printer's working on to see if it doesn't have the bleed through. Because when it's the non-bleed through, just to show off the difference here, you can tell. The old version here, nice and bright and yellow. This one is bleeding through. But these finally got these working, and these turned out really well. I had to like thicken a bunch of lines to make this work. But the long box logo will be there. I'll probably make a couple more, and then I will put those up on the store envy. Sidekick Nick 4, sorry to hear your title card dumped you. Thought you two made a nice couple of content creators. For the record, since a few people asked about this, Vega and I are still married and still together. Like, she's in the other room right now working on art. She just decided that she wants to move on and do other stuff.
And you know what? Good for her.
And I have made a choice on the new title card artist. I'll make a formal announcement into that soon enough. I want to finalize the plans for the charity stream that we're going to do to get rid of all of the previous merchandise and all that. So using this new logo for with all your shows and stuff, not really. I mean, we could, but it's not. But as far as I know, that's not an issue for anything else. It's just for anything I'm selling, which in this case, I'm selling these. For anything I'm selling, I need to have the modified font on it. It doesn't look super different, but it's different enough. Otherwise, yeah, I'm trying to think of any other update stuff. Halloween stuff, obviously, just us for leftover. Yeah.
There, it could be better.
Well, I have fancy plans. What we're going to do, I think I mentioned this in a previous stream, we're moving all the Halloween stuff to December. There's going to be some storyline stuff we're going to do with that. There's a fun little Christmas storyline. No dead children.
That we're aware of?
That we're aware of. I love how I did that. I love how a lot of my Christmas stuff is just like, I really like Christmas ghost stories. So it's like, how can I make things depressing? So yeah, Decemberween. I think I can't remember what we called it on the stream the last time. I have it on my notes here. It was a shock before Christmas.
That's great.
So we'll have some fun with that. Is Vega still going to throw pony plushies at you? That was always fun. Of course. That's her thing. Fourth Wall Kid. We'll get your super chat in a minute. Same for you, T Elite. Otherwise, yeah, that's the current plans. Things are on the table. I have finished the Peacemaker script last night. I'm going to film that after the stream. We're going to get on track. As you know, the Halloween and December plans will work as long as I can actually pull off putting out all the Patreon sponsored reviews. So, fingers crossed there. Huh. Would you want an indie comic of your show, like your storyline segments become adapted into comic form with some changes to make it its own version? That's the thing. People have always asked me if, you know, when I've had a couple of indie comic creators asking if I wanted to have a comic of the show, they've always been like, I'd like to adapt the storylines. And it's like, I'm not big on adaptations into other mediums. I'm not big on visual mediums into comics. Not that they aren't their own things, but like, you already have the storylines. While you could probably argue, like, yeah, we can make them look better than your show. Like, I would prefer if someone's going to spend money on a product like that, they get something original. So, like, that's where I'm at. But so like, I wouldn't be against it, but I would prefer they get something new versus something they've already seen before.
There you go.
The Top of the Fourth Wall video game adaptation. I would love a video game adaptation. We would work so damn... if we could do a video game, we would work so damn hard. I see it as being a first-person shooter.
For a minute there, I was... Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was thinking more like a Mega Man kind of thing. Like, gather up all the best comic books versus the worst comic books and get yourself, like, Super Kara or something. I don't know.
Yeah, see, like the funny thing is, I was thinking borderline, like, visual novel or LucasArts games, where you're, like, on the couch, and it's like, this comic is good, this comic sucks, and you're just, like, choosing.
No. I like the idea of a first-person shooter where, like, you know, we go around the normal, the sets, we can explore locations, we can, like, have an entire mission on board Comic-Con 1 where we're running around and fighting invaders, and we have, like, we have the magic gun, but we have modifications to the magic gun to make it into different kind of weapons.
Oh, that sounds cool.
And I was thinking of tactical RPG because that's where my mind always goes first.
Personally, I was thinking something more along the lines of like an RPG.
I was thinking like a tactical RPG, like, Fire
Tactical? Is this gonna be like storyline thing?
T-Elite555, we are back to the only streams I'm allowed to show because I did the title card. In all seriousness, this primarily did it for you with no strings attached to contribute to the channel. Thank you. Indeed, and T-Elite did a great job on the title card for this stream, so thank you so much.
Yay.
Top of the World Trading Card Game Edition. You know, we could. But yeah, like something on the Doom engine, something on the Build engine would be really fun. That's what I'm nostalgic for. When I used to play Duke Nukem 3D, and we would download maps of like the Enterprise or some TV show sets, and people had made Duke Nukem maps like that. That is what I'm nostalgic for.
And you could go underwater in the Build engine.
I remember this one Doom map that I found back in the day that somebody had made made several Sliders episodes, like the backgrounds of sets from the Sliders episodes into a Doom maps.
Nah. All right. On that note, we are, we're 10 minutes in. Let's actually get back to what we're here for, which in this case, Outer Worlds is not registering on the things. Let me fix that real quick. There we go.
I guess while waiting, perhaps we should introduce ourselves.
Oh yeah, I should probably introduce who the hell's here. Anyone want to introduce themselves?
Yeah, sure. Hi, I'm Eliza. Always great being here. Zen's here with me.
I'm a ghost.
We also got Lotus Prince.
Good evening, everyone.
We have our Lord and Savior, RN Jesus.
Greetings, my disciples.
And we have Xandrew.
Hello, everybody.
Now let's go to space.
Space.
It's been so long since we met up with Felix and the Space Lesbians. Indeed.
That's some slogan there for that product.
If it's brown, drink it down. Oh dear. Zidfell. Oh thank God, I didn't know who else was here.
I'm not here.
All right, so where were we when we left off? We went to a new planet. We're trying to hunt down, if I recall correctly, the star of those space serialized schlocky TV shows. And I don't remember anything beyond that.
cleanliness is
Also, provided got something going, I can level her up. Synchronicity. Stone breaker, command ability damage, chance for reset ability. Those are armor rating, melee damage. Not a melee fighter though.
Technically, no. Nintendo doesn't own missing now.
Yeah, it's literally a missing number. It's just something that comes up in the code. It's like how Ermac is a Mortal Kombat character now, but in Mortal Kombat like 2, it was just error macro. Like it wasn't a character yet. Also, Captain
Anyways,
Avenger says, have you downloaded the app Pokemon TCG Pocket?
No, because I was never really I say never. I did play the card game.
Hello there. Hope you're at
The guy who looks like a Christmas gnome.
He really
As a
does.
guest of honor, you deserve the best in comfort. Sublight Salvage and Shipping Underground, or Slug, as we like to call ourselves, is delighted to welcome you to Eridanos. I'm the Grand Colonial Head Bellhop. I'm here to grab your bags and direct you, the inspector, to the Grand Ballroom, which was the scene of the crime.
Thank God someone finally recognizes how great I am.
You're Mr. Aidman? Cole Aidman?
The Cole Aidman.
Anyway, what were you saying about trading card?
I did actually play the card game when I was a kid, but like I was never that into it. I mean, I played in the Toys R Us League a bit to get those badges, which I eventually just like bought on eBay of like several years ago, just because like I wanted to complete the set because they only went so far with them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Jedi Protector says, welcome back to Space Capitalism, the game.
Look at the hotel sign carefully. I will do so.
I just noticed.
I was the one who found Helen's body in the Grand Ballroom. Corpse wasn't in the best shape. Aside from that, I don't know a whole lot. Helen was supposed to host the unveiling
Oh, she's
for
dead.
Rizzo's newest product, Spectrum Brown. Until you catch
Almost
the
resolved.
killer,
We found
the
where she
unveiling's
went.
been indefinitely
Bye, everybody.
held.
Good job, guys. We're the
Helen's
best
death has
detectives.
been
Wrap it up.
for many. A lot of people are
Aw, but I wanted to
inconsolable.
use my magnifying glass.
Hell, even Black Hole Birdie, Helen's beau, has wandered off. Some folks think he had something to do with the murder, but I don't believe it.
I still don't understand why anyone would have it in for Ms. Helen.
emergency stain and accident disappearing goop capsules are currently low on capacity. Would you like to order a new 5,000 caps carton of goop for this unit?
Folks get heated when it comes to serials and their actors, I suppose.
Close this real quick. Got a thing that's distracted me. Let's see. The Elite 555 will get your super chat in a minute. Most teams comes to decisive. Typical show business, but she divisive figure.
Not particularly. But I think some folks were jealous of her success, or otherwise viewed her as a threat. Reckon how she came about her fame didn't help.
Oh? How interesting. Would you like to tell me more?
Why, she was a natural. People fell in love with her. She managed to wrangle up a following all on her own.
He's like
She
not following
ended
his
up
own
about as
train of
famous
thought.
and high-runged as your average VP, which rubbed a lot of Byzantines the wrong way. Actors ain't supposed to get preferential treatment. Let's see here. Oh, I already spoke briefly about the Spectrum unveiling, or
Well, that's
lack
most of the actors
thereof.
I've met.
It's still an awful shame. A lot of folks looking forward to that.
Probably a big deal. Hope they keep it canceled as BS corporate. I thought you worked for Slug, not Rizzo.
I do. Rizzo's happened to rent out the Grand Colonial Ballroom from Slug for the unveiling. A nice mutually beneficial event. But the murder's gone and ruined that. Along with 9 out of 10 of my favorite cereals. Anyway,
no.
I think I've held you up long enough. Once you're ready, head down to the lobby. The ballroom is just behind the elevators.
It's weird that they call these TV
Meanwhile,
shows
I'll grab your
serials.
bags.
Reminds me of freaking
Nope.
Watchmen.
To be fair, that's what they were called back in the day.
Yep. T-Elite 555. I hope everyone enjoyed Death Troopers over at the book club. This month I'm back to the High Republic with Beware the Nameless, aka Younglings versus Eldritch Force-Eating Creatures.
And like I know they are literally serials, but like just nobody actually calls them that.
To be fair, they did back in the day.
Well, that's what I mean.
Back.
Back in the day, like I said, it reminded me of like
Fun,
Watchmen.
right? Your luggage. Belongings, kits, wherever you keep what you ain't wearing. You're still giving me a pretty blank look. suppose it's none of my business, but do you just wear the same set of clothes all the time?
I mean, when I got it perfect the first time.
Maybe you should take a stupid hat off.
No, that would be ridiculous.
See, you say that, but I still ain't seen no bags. Know what? Never mind, it's not my business. Anyhow, I'll look for you in the grand ballroom later. Hope you can unravel this mystery, Inspector.
I got a brand to consider, Norville. Anyway, they said I should pay attention to the sign of the place.
Aha, welcome. Just as I suspected.
Apologies, sir, but the atmospheric complex is on complete lockdown. No one's allowed in or out until the murder investigation's concluded.
Do you have any idea who I am? I could bury you under 6 tons of paperwork before you had the time to cry out for your.
And I could bury you 6 feet under.
I'm sure
I could just bury you.
last box of grievance forms into the incinerator a few months ago. Is there anything I can do for you in the meantime?
I
pretty
cannot
good.
believe this. Mr. Kincannon really knows.
We need to get a top hat someday.
Yeah, we gotta get a top hat. We gotta look dapper as hell.
I mean, I have a bag full of hats, and I have like a bunch of different types of hats, but I don't have a top hat. I want to make myself some sort of awesome stage magician outfit someday, and to have a nice top hat to go with it.
Alright, where is the hotel sign, other than the welcome sign?
Well, they're saying in chat we're still a bit away. It's on the building itself.
Ah. Oh yeah, we are wearing a top hat already.
Oh, there you go.
Well, you should put a top hat on top of your
Mission
top hat.
accomplished!
We should put a top hat on top of the top hat.
Yes.
Top hatception.
But we gotta be better than any member of the Top Hat clan.
I get it.
No need to check in here. Your paperwork has all been processed. You should be able to find the Colonial right ahead.
Oh, how nice.
Ha! I get it.
Oh. IAL, not following.
Oh god. I just got it. It's great.
And I bet you believe
Ah.
that was the worst part of all.
Thanks, I hate it.
Good times. But, you know, we have had a rough time as of late. You know, I feel like we deserve this. We deserve a fancy hotel room. You guys ever stayed at a really good hotel?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like the Gaylord at Magfest.
No. I mean like a suite.
Yes.
Not really, no.
So, we went to a convention a few years ago that was in Wisconsin. But unfortunately, we went to the hotel, we got to our room, but our room, the door was wide open when we got there. And that made us very paranoid because what could have happened, what could happen in between, us getting there and whatnot. There could be any number of things there. It probably would have been fine, but it's still just like a kind of thing. So we went to the front lobby to request a different room for that reason. They understood, but there were no other rooms available except the suites. So they upgraded us to a really fancy room. The only downside was it was 2 beds instead of one for us, but we were willing to make that sacrifice because this suite had a full kitchenette, it had a hot tub, it had big TVs, it was wide open, like there was a dining room table. Just like, okay, yeah, that works for us. We were very happy about this. Oh hey, if I sit idle, this happens.
Like when I was 20 years ago, back when I was 20 years ago, I was dating this one girl who had a lot of money. And when I say a lot of money, I mean in the ghetto, and she was a millionaire.
What is it with these
Welcome
hats?
to the Grand Colonial. Please make yourself at home.
There, sure glad. Do I have a?
There, sure glad I don't look stupid in this.
There, good. I do have that on the soundboard.
And at that time, I got to stay at we went to New York City to go see something and see something. I forget what. And I stayed at this really high-end suite hotel suite, and I was like, oh god.
Oh, thank the law. Inspector, you don't know how relieved I am to see you.
Oh, yeah, she was one of the people on the video screen, right, when we were first getting the case?
Yep.
Constable Maria Keene. It's good to meet you in person, Inspector.
Dr. Goodnight. Ecstatic to make your various acquaintances and so on. Are we finished with the pleasantries? There's something I'm excited to show you.
I like her design.
What do you got for me, Doctor?
An extraordinary contraption. You'll love it.
Our coroner has developed
what is Deadshot doing here?
which may prove useful in your investigation. Our office has instructed her to hand it over to you.
Our office has instructed her to hand it over to you. Oh, please. You make it sound as if I'm turning over stolen goods. Behold, my discrepancy amplifier.
Ooh.
Hold it in your hands. Feel the way it hums with ontological potential.
Super G Bros, I bet Crimson Rogue would be a good voice replacement for Poyo, considering he's like you but reviews books and comics for a living. I still haven't decided what I'm gonna do with the for replacing Poyo's voice, because here's the thing. Some people have suggested I should open it up for for people to try out for the role. The problem is, it's not a paid role. It's a very occasional thing, and I feel bad asking people, hey, you become an actor on the show, but you have to be available to me to occasionally contact you and say, hey, voice this character. Sometimes months between at a time, but you don't get paid for it.
I mean, I already said that I'd be willing to do that.
I feel like it's easier to do that with my friends because they're used to doing that kind of thing. I don't know how I feel about someone just trying out for that.
I would like to try out for Ghost Poyo.
I haven't decided. So yeah, I will probably cast someone I know. I just haven't decided who I'm going to ask first because yes, people have suggested Dom. They have suggested other British YouTubers. But do I want to stick with the British accent? Do I want to try something different? That kind of thing. I've had a few. I've had a few of my friends who have also expressed, hey, I would like to try out for it. So we will see. I haven't made any decisions on that front yet. I have made a decision about the new title card artist, and I will make that announcement soon enough. Like I said, I just want to work out the logistics. So anyway, apparently I don't know science well enough. We got to work on that. What does this thing do exactly? That's how do I set it to kill?
I'm so glad you asked. Allow me to explain. The discrepancy amplifier uses a deterministic model of our universe to detect the discrepancy between what should be and what actually is. Then it renders any discrepancies visible by using the power of magnification.
Oh, Make It Timmy Tommy says, as long as you don't offer to pay an experience.
Exactly. I'm trying not to be a douchebag to my fans.
Yeah, the exposure is the more insulting version because you are paying an experience. They're getting experience.
I want people, pay people an exposure. Only a science major could figure out how physics works. Got it, thanks.
Go on then. Give it a try. Just treat the amplifier as you would a weapon. Hold it good and steady and look down scope.
I'm contractually prohibited from endorsing off-brand technology, but I'll bend that rule just this once. You'll want
she's
to
not endorsing it. She could just keep quiet while they endorse
and
it.
Examine the crime scene.
Half mad side of mine, Dr. Goodnight. You've been granted the trip to the player handy with. All right.
T-Elite, I saw someone ask a bit ago, what happened to Thingunkler?
Thing Tucker.
Thing Tucker is sticking around. We've done things with Thing Tucker before outside of him, and besides, it's not like he was a character.
Right.
All right, so let's give this thing a try. Oh, there we go. Oh, clue that it was with you.
Detective Vision from Arkham.
Yeah, except it's an actual device. You don't get to just change your entire view.
Ah.
That explains it.
The discrepancy amplifier is now operational.
Why does it also shoot things?
Yeah. There's now a discrepancy between how the floor should be and what you do it.
It's a discrepancy between life and death.
Yeah, like a zombie or a vampire.
Designed with modular analysis system. What else can you do?
The discrepancy amplifier has been programmed with advanced speech recognition, scientific analysis, and deterministic calculus protocols.
Oh, you'll love this. Amplifier, tell the inspector about your features.
Please do not interrupt the discrepancy amplifier. The discrepancy amplifier is programmed to take instruction from its registered or designated inspector.
How curious. I must have set its impertinence levels to flagrant.
This unit's
Why does it
features
have
include an
impertinence
automated
levels?
personality simulator. This unit has been programmed to simulate joy and
Simulate joy and satisfaction.
in assisting you.
Genuine people personality.
Also, Mega Timmy Tommy says, anyone play Metaphor Refantasio? No, but I hear it's amazing. I just never got into like Persona and stuff like that.
You know what is amazing? Astrobot.
It is.
So I hear.
I love it. This thing is equipped with genuine people personality, like in Hitchhiker's Guide.
This footprint stands out from the normally spotless floor of the grand ballroom. Typically, the ballroom is cleaned twice daily, which means this must have been made by either Helen or her assailant or assailants.
Taste the dirt.
Taste the dirt. Be the dirt.
Should I taste the dirt?
Little.
Ones and twos in chats. One for just a discrepancy, just for proper scientific analysis, and twos in the chat for taste the dirt.
I say taste the dirt. We need to know where we're going.
Get lots of twos.
Rohan Kashibe would have tasted the dirt.
I say taste the dirt because Dad made dirt and dirt don't hurt.
This is unanimous. This is amazing.
This is unanimous. Everyone wants me to taste the dirt.
Now loading mouthwash protocol. Please open wide, customer.
The dirt tastes earthy with faint woody and fruity undertones.
What?
Yes.
Well, now
this
you
is
know.
definitely dirt, all right.
Why does the dirt taste fruity, though?
I'm assuming because of the cleaning product.
8.75.
That or it's from the kitchen.
Its owner was very particular about their shoe size. It is also the exact size that Halcyon Helen typically prefers. There are traces of dirt throughout the footprint.
Oh, apparently I can't make the perception check. Can you analyze the dirt?
Carries traces of fertilizer, as well as the faint signs of crushed purpleberries and grass. Grass, fertilizer, and purpleberries can all be found in the purpleberry orchard.
Okay, so you didn't detect the purpleberry, but it did. You're still good.
I did say it did taste something sweet.
Yeah.
It tasted fruity.
Helen must have been at the orchards before she died.
What tastes sweet is the thrill of the hunt.
Good work, Inspector. I had a feeling we'd make some progress once we brought you onto the case.
Well, I am pretty
I need
awesome.
Administrator Ludovico to grant you access to
Don't
the
thank me. Thank the discrepancy amplifier.
a secure access terminal in your penthouse suite.
We got a penthouse
Check in with
suite.
The concierge. Your room should be ready by now. If it isn't, I may have to go shake someone by the collar.
Why is that called the penthouse? Does that mean there's 5 houses inside of the...
Penthouse just literally means like the suite on the top floor.
Why is everybody staring? Didn't nobody teach him to respect the dead? Oh gosh, is that Miss Helen? Can we see?
Wow.
Criminy.
That is surprisingly realistic.
That is.
Can't you just...
Yeah, don't be rubbernecking, Carvati.
But while the hotel is an active crime scene, I regret to inform you that all new bookings, room upgrades, room downgrades, and in-room massages are suspect. Oh, you're the special inspector. Mr. Kincannon warned me you'd be checking in soon.
Does no one want Cole's autograph? Fine, I see how it is. Look, we're still getting started in our career. We'll get there.
Whether you want it or not, you're getting Cole's autograph.
Cole Aidman, dirt taster of the Outer Worlds.
Yeah.
Ah, yes. We are most
I've heard of
pleased to
eat
offer you
dirt,
our
but
grandest
this is
congratulations,
ridiculous.
Inspector. The penthouse suite on our topmost floor is now
I
available.
think we're a
for you.
criminal, not a celebrity. Excuse me, I'm the special inspector.
Behind when she vacated unexpectedly, so we.
I'm
needed a
basically
little time
Benoit
to
Blanc
speed
up in
this
here.
up for you. Simply call the elevator in the lobby, and our highly skilled operator will deliver you to your private floor with efficiency and cheer.
Our highly skilled elevator operator.
You got some high-profile guests here, right? We can tell
My
them.
apologies, Inspector, but that would be a severe violation of guest privacy. We here at the Grand Colonial firmly believe that... All right, my supervisor just walked out of earshot.
That's
Some folks
amazing.
just don't understand
What's the hot
importance of
goss?
gossip. About whom? And what would you wish to know?
Knows about anything about Halcyon and Helen before she died?
You know, out of everyone here, I probably knew the least about Helen. I'm not much of an Aetherwave watcher myself. And Helen always had a crowd of admirers chasing her, you see. So she rarely stopped to chat. Friendly enough, surely, but always seemed untouchable. Emphasis on seemed.
You ever see Helen acting strangely?
Now that you mention it, she was usually calm and collected, but every so often I'd see her looking all wild-eyed and intense. It seemed as if she was determined about something. Or maybe she was just hungry. That woman ordered a lot of food. Maybe show business gives you a faster metabolism.
Interesting.
Birdie. Is he bigger than he is dumb, or dumber than he is big? I have a bet with a friend. Not sure we'll ever get it to pay out. Birdie used to be Helen's beau, though he isn't anymore, and not just because she's dead. If I had 1,000,000 bits, I'd spend every one just to learn what caused their split.
Ooh, drama.
Captain
Also,
Avenger
Captain
993, how did you come across Garth Marenghi's Dark Place? Years ago, I was invited to a small convention down in Texas that Mars Girl was involved in. I think she was involved in it. And we did it. I got sick during that trip. But I was staying with Allison Pregler, Obscurus Lupa, or Movie Nights these days, and she showed me it in our hotel room. Like, we marathoned through the entire show, and it helped make me feel a little better because of my being sick and all.
It is a pretty great show.
It
Just
is.
Everything is wrong, and it's amazing.
Like Takahata 101 for Halloween, he always marathons it through a few times on his stream. He's like memorized it at this point. I'm not Jesus Christ. I've come to accept that.
I just love whenever Richard Ayoade just looks directly at the camera and then it quickly cuts.
Yep.
Like, you know, they were just like, stop looking at the camera.
No,
To be fair,
no.
that-
Wait, I have more things to say. What's that? Evil things on the wing. Good gravy. There are things happening on the wing.
He was covered in blood. Blood. Blood.
Goodbye. All right, well, let's continue our investigation. Helen's co-star Woolrich. Any reason to want her
If
dead?
looks could kill, he'd have put her in the ground 10 times over. Man's clearly jealous of her success compared to his.
Case closed.
I'd bet we're the only two people thinking about him in
You know,
all
I
of
miss that show.
Arianos. And I only am because you mentioned his name. If you leave woolly cow milk out, it turns to curds. Leave the curds out, they begin to get stale, then rot. Woolridge is on his way to the trash bin, and everyone knows it. Either he's in denial, or he knew Helen would be checking out soon, judging by his increasing demands for a room upgrade.
That's enough goss for now.
That's a shame, Inspector. What if I wanted to know a little about you?
I'm a freelance
A
captain.
dashing gunslinger type, then. I'm sure the investigation will turn out splendidly in your hands. Or at least Mr. Kincannon seems confident enough to believe so.
I mean, if you want to get to know me more, I've got the penthouse suite.
It certainly is a marvel of modern ingenuity, luxury, and ambition.
I wish they would let you flirt with more people
Allow
in
me
this
to
game.
answer any curiosities you might have about our building.
Clockwork Soul says they... Oh, well, I'll wait for her to finish. Yeah, Clockwork Soul says they could be hiding under a fake alias here. Look for Stacy fake name in the books. I don't know if that's an option here, but something sort of like that came up in L.A. Noire. Except that everyone was under an alias, and you had to look for which one was probably that person's fake alias.
No one seems to talk much about the lower levels of the hotel.
Who would be interested in a staff-only area? Most folks never ask about the sewers beneath Arizo's plant, either.
Nothing. You can't honestly tell me there's nothing of interest in an entire half of the hotel.
Of interest to your investigation? Well, I suppose there is that one door we're not supposed to open.
Mysterious
But I'm
door, you
sorry,
say?
Inspector, I'm not authorized to grant you access to any staff sections of the hotel.
I wasn't
You'll have
asking.
to find a way in on your own.
There ain't special for the upper levels.
Most certainly. All the important folks can be found in the utmost parts of the hotel.
Like me, of course.
You can hardly walk 3 feet
course.
without bumping into a tossball grate or a board.
You know, I'm a
with
tossball mascot.
Well, maybe don't bump into them. It could be harmful.
Maybe you've
to your
heard.
health.
I'm not going to ask what the penthouse has to offer because we're going to actually explore that for ourselves.
If you're sure.
Well, thankfully, if we need to clean the penthouse, we have Sam with us.
Yep.
That is true. No, Stan, that's evidence. No!
Alright, challenge everyone with the best fake name you could come up with off the top of your head.
Cole Aidman.
Joey Jojo.
That's the worst name I ever heard.
Hey,
It's a surname.
Jojo!
I saw like a YouTube parody of that in like 2012 or 2013, where because he keeps saying like Joey Jojo, and it had like Jonathan Joestar over Homer's head when he runs out crying. Like, oh, Joey Jojo.
I know the best fake name that I could possibly come up with. Dr. Pepper.
Alright, what do we got for new perks? We got a companion, so without load master's not good. Quiet weapon damage, vendor buying price.
Abby Normal.
Yeah, getting more money from the vendors wouldn't be bad. Let's reset a companion ability. Minus the movement, like accuracy, that wouldn't be bad. TTD restored per kill, science weapon damage. Do we use science weapons?
Well, we're using a science weapon right now.
Fair enough. Interactable highlight range, that wouldn't be terrible either.
Ooh, I have another good one. Leslie Bean.
Do you read Dumbing of Age?
Yes, I've read Coming of Age and Short Packed and It's Walkie and Walkie and Joyce.
Just checking. At least isn't a fake name like Lewis Lovehog. Wait. Yeah, that is pretty fake, especially because there's an O in that name.
I was going to say, the joke's on you, it is fake.
Only a science major could use these weapons.
That really is like an evergreen line. Like, I just love how funny it is. It's not even like he's a full-on scientist. He's a science major in school.
Yep. In no sense, a perfect, honest, ordinary person.
I wonder who this person Alucard is.
Mr. Space Guy. Hello, I'm Dr. Acula.
Yeah, Alucard is clearly from the old 1930-something black and white movie, Son of Dracula.
That movie sucks.
Do you think that, like, I'm genuinely asking, is that the first movie to do the, like, Nilbog as Goblin backward thing?
It might be. I'd have to take a look again and see when it came out.
Like, how many older movies could there possibly be? Like, I know movies have been around for decades earlier, but come on, how many of them were doing that?
Ooh, I got a good one for a vampire to use. My name is, if I was a vampire, I'd go by Colro. Get it?
What was it?
Colro. Spelled K-C-O-L-R-O.
Oh, Orlok, okay.
I get it.
I'm just reminded of, like, you know, like Batman Returns, which, you know, that came out before the Shrek movie did, but now people watch the movie and they're like, Shrek, that's a funny coincidence. But, like, no, Christopher Walken's character was named after the actor who played Count Orlok.
Yep.
In, like, the 1920s or 30s or whenever that movie came out.
Yep. So, do we want to do up the vendor buying price? Do we want to do whatchamacallit? Movement penalty removal or other stuff?
I normally go for stuff that gets me more money.
More money would not be bad.
Yeah, like my first upgrades are usually things that let me get upgrades faster later. Like more experience, more this, more that.
Fair enough. Alright, let's go check out our penthouse suite.
Hello there, my inordinately esteemed guest. If my hello were any more earnest, this loudspeaker would explode.
Okay, is that a person or does the elevator have an AI?
Laying on the sarcasm pretty thick.
Next stop, the finest seat in
Christopher Walken, yawn.
Yawn.
That's like an actual line. It's so weird.
All right, check it out. This is our penthouse suite. Sam, are you our bartender?
Did you know the smoke from high society cigarettes is 10.07% more likely to leave odor and discoloration in fabrics than other leading brands?
Speaking of, this place looks like they left a bunch of papers and crap all around.
Papers, please.
Oh, Captain Avenger says, I heard your voice cameo in Comic Drake's video.
Yep, I did a cameo recently in Comic Drake's video where he was talking about the Three Jokers comic. You should all check that out. Mind you, you probably already checked it out because Comic Drake is more popular than me.
I have not watched Comic Drake's newest video, but I will say this. I was always against the Three Jokers idea.
The idea seems amazing from like a non-canon story. Like, what a clever idea, but actually doing a mainline thing seems like implausible.
Well, funny you mentioned that. You should really watch the video.
Okay.
The imprint left inside this suitcase matches the silhouette of Halcyon Helen's iconic handgun, the Needler. The weapon was recently removed.
What do we miss so far, Emperor Seth? Well, we got the penthouse suite to the hotel. We're investigating Halcyon, whatever her name's.
Halcyon Helen.
Halcyon Helen's murder. And we got a nifty science gun. Sorry, I'm taking these as evidence.
A science gun? But we're not Doctor Who.
Science gun? Where'd you purchase that?
Oh.
Where did we go wrong?
That would be an interesting April Fool's episode.
Hang on a second.
That didn't mean for... Helen, I love you. I love you so much.
Oh, I guess she dropped him.
Interesting. So he was hoping to get back together with her. He left her a drunken text. Evidence. I'm taking all this evidence.
Don't forget to use your detective mode.
That is a lot of cigarettes in the used cigarettes in the ashtray. Bunch of booze.
I see more before.
All this evidence. Look at all this evidence.
Was that mirror cracked up there? No, behind you on the shelf that you just looted from. Yeah. Oh, something's cracked. Whatever that is.
Nothing unusual about it, according to my science analyzer.
Only a science analyzer can solve this mystery.
Mm-hmm.
A good thing they handed me the tool that just does the work.
Also, I guess the penthouse suite is different from the VIP guest lounge or whatever. Also, hey, Vicar.
When I joined your crew, I figured I was giving up any hope of ever staying in a place like this.
Unless we're just getting her room. You know, with all her stuff in there.
Pretty crazy.
Rum and something.
Rum and something.
Is this how people in Byzantium live all the time?
Hello.
Profit of profitability, that's genuinely clever.
There's an actual, conspiracy board here. Unless this really is our suite and they're just giving us all the stuff that was in it.
It's like in trading places, you're not stealing it. That's your things.
Oh, I love trading places.
I'll watch that in forever.
Yeah, it's been a long time. That might be. It's not the first movie I saw that did it, because I think Jumanji. I saw that first, but I think it might have been the oldest movie that I've seen that just had the character look directly at the camera and break the fourth wall. Come on now.
Inspector.
I actually recently saw that back when I was in the hospital.
Halcyon Helen was an important cultural icon. She will be sorely missed.
I mean, she's causing murder, not solving them. You mean Ruth Bellamy? Halcyon Helen is just a character.
Halcyon Helen was more than a character. She was a brand. Her death will now be associated with Rizzo's Spectrum Brown. You understand why that worries me.
Of course. Just heard City would add Rizzo Spectrum Brown. It's heart-stoppingly good.
Ugh.
I do not. Spacer's Choice has that market cornered. Back to the matter at hand. Tell me about your investigation.
Got a lead. I can't tell you why, but I need access to the orchards.
Your discretion is appreciated. I admit, I'm beginning to feel more confident in this arrangement. Here, I'm granting you access through the gates to the orchards. You're officially authorized to see this investigation through to the end.
Well done.
There is one caveat. Cedric's being rather intransigent about letting you into the spaceport. Possibly he's trying to hide something. Possibly he wants to annoy me. Possibly both.
Anything's possible. Infamous Mike Manhattan, have you heard about the craziness going on with Zeb Wells' Spider-Man run? The fans going ape crap over Paul just existing has been hilarious to laugh at. Yeah, I want to say I watched a Godzilla Mendoza episode about that. And just like the full timeline of events involving Paul, like to finally understand what the hell is going on. It's like, wow, yeah, I think people are giving a lot more credence to the creators than I think that they want to. I think it is very much a case of, they don't want Mary Jane and Peter back together. They really just do not. But fans are still demanding it even after all this time. And so they're just, so at this point, they're probably just deliberately pissing off fans and trying to get them to finally, you know, accept it. But it's not working.
Yeah, because that'll never work. Because here's the thing. They're trying to get Peter Parker back to the way that they think is more iconic, back to when they were readers.
Yeah, but like what, the 90s? He got married to Mary Jane.
No, because a lot of the editors over at Marvel have been at Marvel as editors since the 90s.
Longer than the 90s.
So these are people who were reading in the 70s and 80s.
They do not want Spider-Man married. They do not think that Peter can have a happy relationship. They think being Spider-Man completely destroys any kind of romantic future for himself. And I think that that's bullcrap, and I think that that's a really depressing message, and it takes away from an aspirational part of Peter Parker. Megatimi Tommy, we'll get your super gentleman. Unfortunately, writers take a lot of the heat for what the higher-ups are telling them to write. Yes, but I have this feeling that Zeb Wells does support this, and there was a recent, I want to say, New York Comic-Con panel where it did not go well. People were very mad in the audience, and it took them forever to finally get them to calm down. But it was very clearly tension between the audience and the creative team. Now, they're trying to get around this by having the new Ultimate Universe have a married Spider-Man with kids. I made a big Tumblr post about it. The problem is, I'm sure the books are great. I'm really happy for everyone who enjoys them, but I don't want an alternate universe Peter who's happily married. I want this one. This is the version I grew up with. This is my character. This is who I want. And even then, as I keep saying, because people keep not getting it, sure, I want the marriage back, but it's the deal with Satan that's my big issue.
Yeah, right. Like, Peter Parker in particular is very Christian, so to make a deal with Mephisto is like, what?
Just get rid of that and fine. Have them divorce. But no, we can't have a divorce. Divorce artificially ages the character. You people really are not on the pulse of the youth today. I have a person at the door during the stream. Is that a Vega?
It is. It's quite early, but it's
Jewish
time for a challenge.
I have a challenge while I'm doing my murder investigation.
Yes.
And multiple people saying they thought Parker was Jewish. No.
No, it's Ben Grimm who's Jewish.
Yeah, like, absolutely not.
I'm flattered, though.
So Vega's taping up my fingers.
Yes.
What? Oh, lovely.
Also, do we get Mega Timmy Tommy's chat?
I don't think we did.
Okay, I'll go over real quick while you're getting tied up. Apparently, the new Ultimate Universe with Spider-Dad is great. I have heard that, yeah. Also, new Ultimate Wolverine looks like Deadpool.
I haven't seen New Ultimate Wolverine yet, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but I have heard good things about the new Ultimate Spider-Man.
The new Ultimate Universe has been a breath of fresh air.
This is going to be interesting. Not impossible, but definitely difficult.
Time for you to play with your hands taped.
Yeah. Ben Grimm is Jewish.
For at least,
Why do you think he got
maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah. Ben Grimm is Jewish, although his Jewishness did not get revealed until much later on in his life. People were commenting about that in the Infinity Crusade review.
Yeah, I think he's just kind of a guy in like the really old comics, but they make it more clear later.
To be fair, they hinted at his Jewishness back during the Stanley and Kirby stuff, but they only hinted at it.
Yeah, it was only hinted at. It was not until like the late 90s, early 2000s when they finally confirmed he was. So hence why Infinity Crusade, he seemed to have more of a Christian bent to him.
Yeah, but that's because a lot of people didn't pay attention. A lot of writers in the 90s weren't paying attention to the old stuff that Stan Lee had written.
This is what happens when you have 100 different writers doing the same property. You get all sorts of weird inconsistencies.
Yep. Sure, sorry, Ludovico. My fingers are getting taped up. I'll have to call you back. All right. Cedric's being rather entranced about letting you into the spaceport, but you can't keep your people under control. So he locks his door when investigator. Right? That's not suspicious at all.
I agree with the sentiment behind your snide remark. Unfortunately, the Piraeus spaceport is Cedric's purview, not mine. You have a lead to chase. Law speed, Inspector.
I'll be back.
The only Peter that's Jewish in the films is in the Spider-Verse films.
I still haven't seen the second Spider-Verse film, which I really got to. Man, you'd think I'd be fine considering the tips of my fingers are okay, but man, it is really hard not to move around like this.
It's weird, no doubt. But yeah, when you're dealing with like an infinite number of multiverses, yeah, one of the Peters is going to be Jewish, no doubt. But like, I was going to say, I've never heard of this. I've seen all 3 Tobey Maguire movies, 1 Garfield movie, so I was thinking, unless it's Holland, I got no idea.
No, it's just the Spider-Verse movies that has Peter being Jewish.
Yeah, where it doesn't matter, because Peter's anything in Spider-Verse, because it's just everything.
Yeah. It led to a lot of confusion and misconception, because people don't understand for some reason, don't understand the concept of a multiverse in a multiverse film.
Who knew? Did you know that Scorpion is Hispanic? Well, yeah, that one was in Into the Spider-Verse, sure.
See if I can.
Yeah, Stanley and Jack Kirby were Jewish. In fact, Jack Kirby's one of the most awesome people to ever live.
Wasn't Jack Kirby the Captain American guy?
Yeah, Jack Kirby and Joe Simon?
Okay.
I think was Captain America.
Halcyon Helen versus the Brain Eaters. Chapter 12, Murder on Eridanos. Yeah.
Actually, a lot of the early Marvel bullpen was Jewish. As were the creators of Superman.
There you go.
Because a lot of comic creators back in the early day were Jewish.
It's the
reason why there's a lot of the Golem of Prague showing up in your early superheroes. Like how Superman and Captain America both have elements of the Golem of Prague being part of their creation.
Yeah. All right, going on a walk with our science.
What a pleasant location, except for, the murder.
I'm walking on the grass because I'm a rebel.
Hey, you can't... Oh, you're the inspector, sorry.
I'm a rebel, Dottie.
Said to people who try to claim that Superman should be Jesus analog, no, Superman is not a Jewish analog. He is Moses, the Golem of Prague, and John Carter.
And just like any immigrants, like any kind. Also, Mega Timmy Tommy says, anyone ever see Emesis Blue? My friend showed me last night, messed up. Nope, never heard of it.
It's basically like this thing it was like this machinima type video that was made using the Team Fortress, the Team Fortress 2 characters.
Yeah, I never followed machinima.
I followed like Red versus Blue back in the day.
I like.
That one was good.
I get it, but I just never followed it because I never followed Halo, and I know you don't need to follow Halo to get it, but I was just like, I'm not into Halo.
Crossing the space bridge with a mouthful of dirt.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Also, with Linkara taped up, you could say he's in a sticky situation.
I don't get it.
You could say that, but you won't.
Yeah.
But I just did.
You could say a lot of things.
What'd you say?
I said, never mind.
He didn't say it. He said he did say it, but he said that you could say it.
Ah, there you go.
This mouth dirt is important evidence, and now you've really eaten dirt.
Yep. This is not conducive to combat.
Yeah, next time you go into combat, spit out your dirt.
Yeah, Red vs. Blue got surprisingly serious in later seasons. Yeah, that tends to happen with any long-running show. There's going to have, like, more serious plot lines, especially as you know the characters and you need to take them in new directions.
Yeah, you could only run, like, a quirky, tropey idea for so long. Like, eventually you have to, like, evolve the thing, and Red vs. Blue did.
Yep.
Yeah, and I got into Red vs. Blue around season 9 or 10 when an animator that I knew and was acquaintances with and talked to quite often started doing work on it. Unfortunately, that animator would later die because it was Manio.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, him.
Manio's animations, especially on Red vs. Blue, were amazing.
Yeah, I remember seeing. I didn't see it on Red vs. Blue, but I saw his crazy animations on just like his own channel, like the Dead Fantasy and Haloid and stuff like that, and early Ruby, obviously.
But
you even had this one about Mega Man X and Zero.
It was sad that he died simply because the doctors did not pay attention to his allergy chart.
Yeah, that's unreal.
Criminy.
This is why you always make sure your doctors and nurses are aware of your allergies.
What do we got here? I can pick this. I can take 40? No.
Brandon, thankfully, most of my allergies are stuff that I can't eat.
Sprat.
Like, and I'm not even sure if I'm still allergic to at least one of them because I haven't tested myself for it in like 15 years. And you can't grow out of allergies. Oh, me, you got killed by Red 13. Sorry, those things always remind me of Red 13 for some reason.
I do see it. Like, that wouldn't have been my first thought, but now that you've mentioned it, like, I can't unsee it. Remember that time Red 13 never talked and just ran up to you and killed you?
Please stop shooting up the hotel's dog pen, Cole.
Yeah, man, you thought RDR2 was bad. Now you're just taking out dogs like it's nothing.
I'm just trying to get to the purple berry patch. What the hell?
Well, doggone it.
Oh, look, it's Raptidons. So you went from fighting dogs to fighting Raptidons.
Oh, Captain, my Captain!
I am not doing great in combat.
They are kicking your butt.
Circle strafe and melee, baby.
I can't circle strafe. I don't have good dexterous fingers right now.
I don't have hands. Traditional working ones, that is.
Did any of you remember that one show that Stan Lee tried to make on Sci-Fi Channel?
Which one?
I want to say yes. Was that the... That wasn't... Oh, that wasn't barbed wire, was it?
Yeah, I think it's Stripperella.
No, do you want to be a superhero? I'm thinking about that one for some reason.
Oh yeah, I watched both seasons of that.
It was such a weird show.
It was interesting because it was a reality show that was trying to show people being better people, though some of the tests were bull crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stripperella was Spike TV.
Yep. There you go.
Okay. The name is vaguely familiar, but like that seems so weird to be from like Stan Lee.
Oh, if you want to see weird Stan Lee, you should see the 3 things that Stan Lee made in Japan.
Nice.
Okay, Stan Lee made 3 things in Japan: a manga, a show, and a movie.
That's the triple threat right there.
He made a manga called Ultimo, where the artist of it was the creator of Shaman King.
That actually sounds pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I remember that manga.
The only way I can describe it is, what if I don't remember the English word for it. Why is English failing me?
What if Stanley made Astro Boy?
No, that That would be the show that he made, Hero Man. I think it's more like what if Stan Lee made Gigantor, but yeah.
Oh,
okay. Gigantor, okay.
But, the only way to describe it is
How tough is that thing? Okay, jeez.
I'm awesome. First try.
I was considering saying that.
And have the potential to cause organic death due to
when Baragons attack.
You got like a few more minutes left, and I can take off the damn tape.
Ultimo is basically, what if philosophy with robots and time travel?
As one does.
And the movie was, what if Godzilla had a child with a human woman?
Like you do.
What?
Yeah, that'll happen.
And Captain Adventures.
I think that'd be one very happy wife.
News that Toho is making a new Godzilla movie, and the same director for Godzilla -1 is returning to direct it.
Oh, neat.
No, I did not hear that. Although
I
I
have
guess
heard
now
about
I
that.
have.
I heard about that now.
I don't know if I want a sequel for Godzilla -1. I think it works great standalone. But let's but if you're gonna do that, let's have him fight something.
I don't know if Stanley helped create a Japanese Spider-Man.
Armor parts. I should probably buy all these. Graphic scanner. Can I not afford that? I can't afford that. Wow. Let's sell some stuff. Troop armor.
I think the movie was called something like Mosaic, but the original pitch that Stanley had for it was, what if he wanted to have Godzilla have a child with a human. That was the initial pitch for it. And it was an American-Japanese co-production.
Oh, we got all the junk. Let's where's the sell junk option? Hey, there
And
we go.
it's called Mosaic?
Something like that. But it came out like the mid-2000s, so I don't fully remember it.
Only a 495.
I think I found the trailer for it.
But originally Stan Lee pitched it as, what if Godzilla and a human had a kid?
I guess it would also be called Son of Godzilla.
Well, I think the main character was a girl, but yeah.
So it'd be like, Mrs. Pac-Man, be like Miss Son of Godzilla.
But it's like, that's what Stanley pitched it as, but they weren't allowed to use Godzilla. And he had to change everything after that because he decided to make it sound like, so instead of having to be Godzilla,
Wait, they couldn't use, they didn't want him to use Godzilla? Like, what's the worst thing that could happen if an American uses Godzilla?
Godzilla 2000.
I was going to say Godzilla 98, where...
It's really 98, that was the joke. Although, now that I think about it, Roland Emmerich is German, isn't he?
Yeah.
Sorry, I ruined it. I ruined it all.
And I remind you, we've had a few good American Godzilla movies since that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep. In which we killed Bryan Cranston off in, the first half of one.
See, I wasn't really a bit... See, here's the thing. I didn't watch Breaking Bad, so I did not care about Bryan Cranston.
But Malcolm in the Middle, though?
I never watched Malcolm in the Middle either.
Oh, that was a great show, and it kind of holds
I
up.
didn't watch Breaking Bad or Malcolm in the Middle, but I knew him as a voice actor.
Yeah, he's done some interesting voices. Like, he's done random Monster of the Week in, OG Power Rangers.
Yep.
So if you ever want to hear him go Ranger, with that goofy kid's villain voice, he's done that.
I think he was even the rapping pumpkin album, wasn't he?
He wasn't
he
Pumpkin
very
Rapper, was
awkwardly
he?
did Fei Long in the Street Fighter 2 animated movie.
And he
Probably
was
doesn't
also...
talk about that much.
Also, Bryan Cranston was such a delight on the set of Power Rangers that he's the reason why Billy's last name is Cranston.
Good shit.
Huh. The more you know.
That's when they were giving last names to the original Mighty Morphin team. They decided to name Billy after Brian.
He seems like a cool guy.
All right, it's been 10 minutes. Yep.
I think there, like, I would have to look it up, but I think there's a funny story where, like, around when Breaking Bad was on its last season or had, like, relatively recently finished the series, I think he had gone to one of the Comic Cons and he wore a Walter White mask, so it was a mask of his own face, and people didn't recognize him because it's a full mask.
Yep.
That's kind of funny.
The villain that the main villain that he voiced on Power Rangers was Snizzard.
Ah, there we go.
Ah.
One of the recurring monsters of the week on Power Rangers.
I think there was a clip of, I don't know if it was that monster. If that's the only one he voiced, then I guess it was. But they showed a little bit of it on Colbert, like Colbert Report or something, where it's just, once you know it's Bryan Cranston, it's pretty funny.
I think he also did. Oh, he also did Twin Man. But I just remember him as Snizzard. I also remember him from that one episode of Spring of the Teenage Witch where he played a witch lawyer.
God damn it! They did better that time. I wasn't paying attention. The problem is I don't pay attention to health, so I need to be able to heal myself better.
You got to inhale more of whatever that thing you inhale is.
You gotta get more of them sweet, sweet drugs.
Whatever
some of that copium.
Where's your health? Is it the red bar on the upper left, I assume?
Yep.
Okay. I picked a bad day to stop sniffing my performance restoring drugs.
Also, this is something I only remember because my mom watched this show. It was a show called Third Rock from the Sun.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that from back in the day. That's how I first knew about the guy who voiced Farquaad. I'm flaking on his name right now.
Yeah, John, let's go.
Lithgow, thank you. John somebody. Yeah, Lithgow.
The reason why my mom watched this is because we both like Lithgow because we loved the movie Harry and the Hendersons.
Mm-hmm. It's funny because, like, I only knew, like, I know he's been a villain before in, like, Cliffhanger or something, but to this day I've never seen Cliffhanger. I only knew him as the wacky lead in Third Rock and the wacky villain in Shrek. So when I saw season 4 of Dexter, like, that was a fucking trip. It scared the hell out of me.
But I remember that. I remember walking on one episode where Bryan Cranston was on Third Rock, where he was playing Neil Diamond.
I saw some Third Rock, but even if I happened to see that episode, I don't think I would have remembered it because I would have had no idea who Cranston was or what he looked like at the time.
I only realized it because I had been at a convention the week before that Bryan Cranston was at.
And I remember Cranston was also like the dentist in that one-off episode of Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Where Seinfeld suspects that he converted to Judaism so he could make jokes. Also, by the way, Linkara, Zephyr says if you can, look at those people's necks.
Yeah, we'll do.
Clean up the competition.
It's so corny. It's one enthusiastic robot. You're at about half health, by the way.
I saw.
Okay. Also, T Elite says, me problem, but Death Troopers is a bit of a lie of a title, because I can assure you there's no way the majority of zombies in the books are Stormtroopers. Yeah, well, if they're there. Oh, classic watcher. He was in more than one episode of Seinfeld. Fair enough. I remember that one, though.
Although, I taught Zen about an actor being in a movie. I taught Zen about how John Lovitz is in Brave Little Toaster as the radio.
Oh, nice. SKHS Video Production says, remember to vote by Tuesday. Also, you can do it.
Indeed. Thanks so much. And yes, indeed, vote.
I already voted.
Yeah, I'll do it on Tuesday. I'm not far from my location. I think my first experience with John Lovitz was probably that Streetcar Named Desire episode of The Simpsons where he was the director.
My first experience with him was literally at the radio in Brave Little Toaster.
I've seen a bunch of clips of that movie, but I've never seen it from beginning to end.
It is a yearly tradition for me to watch it on Halloween.
The funniest thing is that Howard Love is from News Radio, and he's a radio.
Oh, there you go. Maybe it was intentional.
Radio, and he's on. Well, and he's Oh, here's another great thing. Phil Hartman is also a great little toaster.
Huh.
He's the AC unit.
There you go.
Wow.
I just remember my parents really got a kick out of because as the director in The Simpsons, he's just like constantly praising everybody for like their minor performances. And you see that one guy like who's not part of the production just painting a banister. He's just going over the banister with paint, and he just walks by and goes, "Ah, another triumph!" It's just amazing.
Another thing is the person who plays Kirby in Brave Little Toaster is the guy who sings "You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch" in the original Grinch special.
Yeah. Karloff himself?
No, Karloff did not sing that song. That's a misconception.
Yeah, I guess he was just the narrator.
Yep.
Huh. I did not know that.
Yeah, I guess it's like how Jeremy Irons was Scar, except for like most of the song. Scar and the Lion King, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we had all this heavy ammo, I figured I might as well use it.
Yeah.
And like we have guns that do a lot more damage, so screw it. Y'all trying to be cool, trying to use my base level weapons, but you guys had to be assholes. So fine.
Because
I tried to kill you lightly, but now look what happened.
Because the person who sang the song was Thurl Ravenscroft.
That's a sick name.
Who was also the original voice for Tony the Tiger.
Ah.
What's the last name? Oh, Ravencroft. I forget. So, isn't that the like the Arkham Asylum of Marvel?
Ravencroft?
No,
something like that, yes.
Is it where Cletus Cassidy went?
He was also the, I believe he was also the original voice for the Hat Ghost at the Haunted Mansion ride.
Oh yeah, Linkara, Zephyr is asking, do we have corpses left to check the necks of?
Good question.
No witnesses, no evidence. Yeah.
It's just it's great how much, you know...
Yeah, look at that neck.
Yeah. Not much neck
I
in
don't
that,
think there's
Ash.
neck there. I think that's Ash.
Yeah, I'm sure part of it's a neck. Don't worry about it.
But there was one guy who I think went over the rails.
Well.
Hello? Are you dead?
Do you have a neck? No!
Okay, cool.
Do you know what a neck is?
It's that thing that moves heads, right?
Yes! Wait, is that what a neck is?
I don't know. I'm a ghost. I think you're a myth.
Alright, the thing was saying something was going on. Yeah, sorry, couldn't examine their necks. They kind of had to die.
Yeah, they're not being necks anymore.
Hello.
Oh, there's one.
The garb on this security guard identifies him as a member of the Rizzo's Corporation.
Wait a minute, does he have a breathing valve on his neck?
Jawbreaker or higher. This security guard has experienced premature expiration. Evidence strongly suggests a conflict with marauders.
Waste not, want not.
We need to get to that purple berry. Maybe it's inside the building?
Oh, I see a discrepancy. There once was ammo there, and now there isn't.
That is very odd. Hello.
Where could it have gone?
Hey, Chrissy.
Ah.
It's Amelia. Evan must have gotten into the Spectrum in these crates. Listen to this. Come out. Come out to play. Law. He's having a grand old time. I'm gonna take him to A2 under the hotel so he can sleep it off. I'll meet you back at the orchard straight after. See you soon. Evan, come on, you slackwit.
Interesting.
I mean, you can't get hammier for Jeremy Irons than Dungeons and Dragons.
He wasn't really hammy in The Lion King. But he was hilarious in Dungeons and Dragons. I love his performance. I will happily watch that movie repeatedly. It's so fun.
The movie is Jeremy Irons is delightful in that movie. Now, if only we didn't have to deal with Marlon Wayans in that film.
Hold on, who did
Yeah,
Jeremy
I
play
can see him
in?
being comic relief, but he really was over the top.
Here's the thing.
Hold on.
I normally like Marlon Wayans.
You know, he's good in like Scary Movie, and I haven't seen it, but I've heard he was good in Requiem for a Dream. But like they really just cranked up like how wacky can we get for like a wacky sidekick in D&D?
Yeah. Like,
if I may add, who did Jeremy play in Honor Among Thieves?
Oh no, not that D&D
You know,
movie, the original
2000
one.
D&D.
The Jeremy Irons one.
The good one.
To be fair, the new D&D movie is probably actually so much better than the current one.
What?
The newest D&D movie is so much better than the original one.
Original one is the word you were looking for.
The new D&D movie like embraces the cheese of like actually playing D&D, but this is like one giant LARP session basically. But old D&D was like, I've heard these D&D terms, but it doesn't feel like a D&D movie. It feels like a generic fantasy movie.
Yes, it's like somebody was trying to explain D&D but did not know how to do it for the old one. The new one is literally like, hey, what if we actually made a D&D movie?
Yeah. But the old movie had Richard O'Brien, so it's clearly superior.
But the new one has like, okay, here's the funny thing. Currently right now they're having a hard time. They want to make a sequel, but right now they're having a hard time getting the people to have their schedules open.
Yeah.
So it's literally we're playing out like an actual D&D campaign with the first session is done.
Yeah. We were supposed to do this weeks ago, but you couldn't show.
But now no, you're supposed to show up.
Look, I'm busy, okay?
Well.
Also expired prematurely following a violent encounter.
Ooh,
with
can you take that
marauders.
axe? That's a nice looking axe.
Customer, would you like to steam clean this blood-stained uniform? Say yes within 10
Probably
seconds.
not, it's
to
evidence.
confirm.
Oh, that was just a joke line. Okay.
We can take that cool looking axe.
Yay.
And my axe.
But yeah, but the old D&D movie had like the thieves. What do they call it? Was it called like the maze or whatever? And it's like 3 rooms, just one after another.
Yeah.
Cole Aidman, parkour enthusiast.
Yep.
But I'm just glad that we're finally getting decent films sometimes, and then the studios destroy everything because the studios still suck.
Yep.
You know, I will say, you know the guy who played Jeremy Irons' sidekick? The guy who's like all whispery with his voice and was probably supposed to sound cooler than it actually ended up sounding? He did have a legit good line and delivery where he raids the Thieves Guild, and Richard O'Brien is like, what the fuck are you doing here? Like, get out of here before you get hurt. And he's like a fighter character with 100 goons. That's some smile. Holy crap.
Holy moly, what's that thing on her neck?
Ah!
Yeah, that's
Welcome to the
disgusting, dude.
Purpleberry Nut Hut.
Can't tell if she's happy or in serious pain.
That's a parasite.
I sure am.
That is a
Good
problem.
lamps you got on you to take notice.
Wait,
But
she
yeah,
got
like
lamps?
Richard O'Brien threatens
There's a lamp
the
for her?
villain, and the villain just goes like, "You must
Oh,
be joking." I just like the way he
call it
delivered
my
that.
little passenger. I don't know why. The name just appeared in my head when this thing showed up on my neck.
She's got a parasitic lamprey on her
Wasn't
neck.
paying attention to it.
Dear
God, I think that I think that Yerk missed where it was supposed to go.
Hey,
Yeah, it's on your ear.
I really can't imagine life without my little passenger.
Can we kill him?
Also, Jedi Protector's pointing out D&D movie to sequel. Yep, I've actually seen it.
I guess I just picked it up while working in the orchard.
Technically, there's 2 sequels to the original D&D movie.
Was the third one actually a follow-up to the previous 2?
Yes, and it's also like a Sci-Fi Channel original movie.
No, I knew that. I just didn't know it was like in the same storyline.
Yeah, they have elements from the first and second movie that show up.
Because the second movie is actually better. It's just less memorable.
Yep.
It feels
And the
more
third
like a
one,
D&D
it's
game.
just
Like they're talking about like the thief is checking for traps. The spellcaster is like, oh, I only have 2 third-level slots left because that was the rules at the time.
I know I sold a bunch of stuff. Do I have anything that will increase my medical enough to try to help this woman?
Yeah, she sounds like she's got a freaking problem. Also, the rules of the time weren't spell slots. It was like I only have 2 casts of like fireball or like a specific spell. Like I only have 2 uses of that spell left.
Because for some reason the original D&D movies, even though they came out in 2000 and 2003 and 2005,
Yeah. They actually got the Damodar character back in the
edition
sequel.
rules for some reason.
Okay, I'm just gonna say right here, having spells, like only 2 per day, that's not fun.
Because here's the thing.
It was a particular magic spell, not that you
only
just had
prepared that spell.
Yeah,
Yes,
like of your
back in-
spell book, of the
was
spells you
already-
select,
oh,
each one has a set number of
a
uses.
40, sorry.
Back in 2nd edition, you had to not only choose what spells you had available, but choose how many times you could cast that spell per day.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like it's not like you only had 2 spells. It's you only have this exact spell such and such a number of times.
So in three, that's one of the things that they changed in 3.5, where they made it so you still had to choose your spells, but you had a set number of slots you could use for each level for casting those spells.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because otherwise it's way too specific. Like, how do you know what you're going to need and when you're going to need it?
And then 5th edition made that even better because then it allowed you to swap out those spells every single time you level up.
I want to just keep dual cast.
Tech.
Like,
Okay.
5th edition made D&D the easiest it's ever been for entry level than it's ever been.
Yeah.
I can't help this woman.
That sucks.
That
Like-
really sucks.
That's I can say something good about every single edition of D&D. First edition got it started. I said the best thing I can about 1st edition. Moving on.
These footprints match the shoes previously analyzed in the Grand Ballroom. There is a 110% chance with a 10% margin of error that they were left by Ruth Bellamy, the actress known as Halcyon Helen.
Yeah.
Then in between 1st edition and 2nd edition, there was something called Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, which is essentially like 1.5.
Yes, good old AD&D.
Yeah, I got a bunch of books from that.
And 1.5, what it did was finally made it so you could play something other than humans, although they added in elf and dwarf and halfling as classes instead of races.
I can deduce that Helen had saltuna for breakfast last week. Pretty obvious if you know what to look for.
If you know what to look for.
Sam never chases the competition.
Also, AD&D added in the Bard as a class.
Linkara, TF Master makes a compelling point. You better lick the dirt just to be sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ow. Tastes like parasites.
Then 2nd edition, which is the edition I started on, added a whole bunch of stuff. But my favorite thing that it added in was, well...
Thaco?
So technically Thaco was there since AD&D.
Yeah, Thaco's super old.
But what they added in was some of the most interesting and insane monsters ever.
Sure, sorry to break it to you, but our
I know multiple people in chat have said this, but this is Joker Town. Like
Well,
Joker's
yeah. Why, right?
Like they're all
It's
Joker's
Parasite.
victims.
Sir, I don't mean to be rude, but do you know what's going on with your face?
Also, 2nd edition was the first time where you could have both a race and a class.
Put on a happy face when engaging with valued customers. Rizzo's does beseech you to please purchase one of our self-guided options if you're wishing to join one of our rejuvenative, relaxing, reformatory tours. Now with a
pass.
Puzzle Hedges trademark maze hunt and special edition taste testing for an extra 35 bits a ticket.
Also, 2nd edition added in multi-classing.
Ah, you mean that
Which is my
lovely
favorite thing that D&D ever added in.
Damn shame what happened
I like
to her.
3.5.
She did come by, but not during any official tour time. I thought she'd hired a private tour at first, but it was Dr. Blossom who was showing her the way to the RR&DD.
It did as well.
Can't imagine why she'd need to meet with our head researcher on the Spectrum product
And
line
4th
outside of
edition.
lab hours. Unless, of course, it had to do with the new product unveiling. That's right. She sure made for some lovely adverts.
Yes, but I never played a
Maybe
human
might
in
have been
2nd edition. I always played something other than human.
I can't rightly say. All I know is one
Normally
of our
half
certified
the
tour
half-elf.
guides
I played a
will give
lot
her
of
a much
half-elf.
more comprehensive tour of the grounds were that her interest.
I'm gonna have to head off. You guys enjoy the rest of your night. Good luck with your stream, Linkara.
Can't say that I have.
What was that?
Good night.
We use bad batches
I'm heading
of
off to
liquor
bed. Good
for our
night.
pesticides.
All right, have a good night.
Only the exterminator mechanicals are armed around here. And I haven't seen any bloody objects aside from the usual pair of gardening shears. Unless, that is, Miss Helen was also stung to death by pollinization wasquitos?
No, of course. What?
She
I mean, she
wasn't,
might
was
have.
she? That would be a
Wasp
mighty
mosquito
rich
sounds like the most evil insect in the world.
Deadly pollinization mosquitoes.
Pollinization by killer mosquitoes, indeedy. It's cutting-edge Rizzo's technology. But don't you worry, valued visitor. Our pollinization cycles only run when the orchards are empty, for safety reasons. When a pollinization cycle finishes or is aborted, all mosquitoes are biologically programmed to return to the hive, their holding pen. Of course, the very last thing Rizzos would want is a beloved tourist bumbling into the hive and triggering an unscheduled cycle. So you'd best steer clear
Unless, of
it for
course,
safety. You'll know the hive by
they
its
wanted to
big
get rid of her.
glimmering electric fencing.
Yeah.
I swear I've seen this guy in Harvester. I don't remember a creepy grinning guy in Harvester, and I beat that game.
I've never played Harvester, but
It's fucked up.
my favorite thing that they introduced in second edition was a monster that was essentially like half howler monkey, half
Before my
wasp.
morning clogging last Sunday, I was but a lowly nanner peeler picker on the line shift. Now I'm responsible for growing every twig and berry on this vast swath of fertile land.
Why is this guy reminding me of Kane from The Amazing Digital Circus?
I'll take your word.
Seen that yet?
Yeah, neither am I.
Is this the human condition of madness, leader?
Man, I wish you guys could hear the sound bars that I'm the sound board that I'm pressing.
Oh boy.
Heaven sweet, no. It's not like he was murdered. He simply disappeared without a trace and hasn't been heard from since. And
As
the
you do?
groundskeeper before that one? Well, she wasn't missing at all. Her body was found near hive control, covered head to toe in thousands of welts. No mystery, and certainly no murder with what happened there. I mean, you can't exactly hold some mosquitoes on trial. Accidents do happen on the job. Can't speak for others, but I most assuredly don't. I reckon you could talk to my supervisor, the overseeing orchardist. He would know more. I used to ask questions, but gee, I just don't feel the urge to anymore.
I wonder why not!
I do hope this pleasant conversation has made me useful to you. Rizzo's likes it when we're useful to customers, and I like anything Rizzo's likes.
Is the big twist going to be like that the Rizzo CEO is like a giant slug? It's going to be like that Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory episode of Futurama?
Yeah, maybe.
God.
Slurm.
I think it's probably just general human greed, just like using just like you know the corporations are like, we don't want people questioning this or what we do here. Stick these parasites on their neck.
Human parasite.
It's the brain slug planet.
Sure there is. The Health and Safety Bureau is board-run and certified. So in Eridanos, all inspectors effectively work for Rizzo's. Well, and other representative member corporations of the board. It turns
Is that
out
Representative
the other
Gonzo?
board orcs get a hearty chuckle out of harassing Rizzo's with regular safety checks. It's really not fair if you think about it. Just because we own less shares on the board than the others doesn't mean we should have to deal with health and safety inspections when the others don't.
Fewer shares.
In that case, I am most definitely sent by the Health and Safety Office. Hope you like paying fines.
Oh, drat. This distresses me, and I do not like feeling cross.
Stresses me.
But I do have a few bits on me. Mayhaps this amount will put a smile on your face.
It sure does.
I warned the orchardist this could happen when we halted our monthly bribe to Slug. They were always a reliable go-between, regarding inspections before now. So, what might you be looking to find out, Mr. Inspector?
No, I haven't gotten a Minnesota accent yet, but then again, I still haven't lost my Southern accent.
I don't.
Old accents die hard. I once had a customer, when I was working retail, ask me if I'd ever been to Massachusetts. I lived there until I was 4 years old. I guess I still have a touch of it.
Slug motivators intimidated our line workers into producing around the clock. And, of course, they kept the inspectors away. The overseeing orchardist had the last groundskeeper deliver a contract termination in the place of our regular payment. Rizzo's decided we don't need their services anymore.
real.
See, with our new morale-boosting medical treatments, our employees are much more productive. No need for unsightly intimidation tactics.
So it's not even forcing a smile on his face, it's forced morale.
They're forcing the slugs onto their necks.
Trade secrets and all that. You understand, I'm sure.
Parasitism will continue because the morale improves?
The parasitism will continue as the morale improves.
But do be mindful of our pollinization hive. Mosquitoes tend towards aggressive at the best of times.
Uh-huh.
There's a reason why we keep him behind an electric
Wait,
fence,
there's a
you know.
show based on Fargo?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been around for like a long time. I've only
I didn't
seen
know that.
season 1 though.
I know there was a movie called Fargo, and I've never seen it.
Yeah, the movie's really good, and season 1 is really good. I hear future seasons are good too, but I haven't seen them. But season 1 has like scary Billy Bob Thornton. It's amazing.
Huh.
Did I hear something? Maybe. Look out! Don't you frown at me.
Oh my god. Linkara wants the what?
I'm waiting for the mosquitoes to show up.
Yeah. Can you think of a worse hybrid than wasp mosquito?
No, oh, spider wasp.
I mean, visually, yes, but spiders are not notorious assholes. Wasps and mosquitoes are.
Not in my experience.
You know, in my D&D game, I made a creature that was half almost part spider, part scorpion, part predator.
Do.
Oh, predator as in like the alien, okay.
I was going to say they are predator.
Congratulations, Inspector. You've discovered
And everybody in my game was like, nope. Because it can turn invisible. Well.
Oh, joy.
Then you don't have to look at them. The thing said mostly natural.
Hi, Kana.
What does our science tell us?
Did you come to say hi?
I've come with love and a bite.
Hello.
Gotta get me some of that purple stuff.
What was it called? Purple berry?
Yeah.
I'm reminded of that Simpsons quote that Eliza, you may or may not know by now, but purple's a fruit.
Yep, I know that one.
Hey.
What, I've been catching up on Simpsons and I've gotten several seasons in.
Congratulations, Inspector. You've discovered more
Kana's just wandering around.
known as Halcyon Helen.
He's a good fellow.
The purple stuff. Okay. Me and my friends used to joke about the purple stuff from the Sunny D commercials.
Oh yeah, that's right. You Sunny D instead of that purple stuff. Yeah, that was pretty funny.
So we would joke that if you drank the purple stuff, you'd get superpowers.
That is the deep pull, that old Sunny D commercial.
Say the slogan.
Oh.
You can do this, Anna. Here goes. It doesn't matter if you're you or me. We're all part of the Rizzo's family.
Oh, thank God she doesn't have a slug yet.
I thought that was a real good effort. Keep at it.
Ouch. Well, your candor's appreciated, even if it means I'll have to hit the books even harder tonight. I'm sure
Hit the
you've guessed
books.
it, but I'm not the best at remembering slogans. And when I can't remember them, I tend to just make them up. But I guess that's why I'm just an intern and not a full-timer.
How many slogans do you have? This sucks.
Oh yes. I thought I saw someone who looked self-important enough to be her by the conservatory some time ago. Not to speak ill of the dead. I simply never liked the way she stole the limelight from the true star. Burbage 3001.
You're a Burbage fan?
I certainly am. That aerodynamic chassis, how the light glints off his rotund head, the way he enunciates, cry havoc, and let loose the cadence of war.
Wow.
Excuse me, I got a little lightheaded there. Nobody does Shakespeare like Burbage. What were we talking about?
That you're a colossal nerd.
About canids, yeah.
I suppose so. I also suppose Helen won't be stealing the limelight ever again. It's not so different from being a regular worker, just with less pay and less respect. Oh,
Real.
It's also more dangerous than traditional employment. You don't have the experience to back up your work yet, but being fired isn't any less threatening. Work-wise, I do a bit of everything. The orchards have been short-staffed as long as I've been working here. So if there's an odd job around...
Why no slugs on the interns? They probably have to pay them.
I was thinking they probably just haven't been determined to, or just judged to be like full-time material yet. Like they're not just gonna throw those slugs on just anybody.
Yeah.
Like get good, then you get your slug.
Coffee and medical attention. Not quite, no. Don't tell anyone I said this, but I sometimes feel that our workers could be treated a little better. Maybe only get electrocuted awake every other day?
What?
So I'm shooting for administration in Rizzo's.
Wait, hold on. Go back for a second.
Every other day.
Space capitalism.
Jesus.
Laws.
I mean, I know something about being electrocuted awake.
My mother's the Rizzo.
I should tell you about this having that happened to me at a coffee maker once.
She set me up with this position, mostly to keep me from troubling her work, I think. Consequently, I don't always feel like I deserve to be here. All the more reason to work harder, I say. Happy to enlighten you on the fascinating world of internships. Let me know if there's anything I can help you with.
Oh, I already know about the fascinating world of internships. They suck.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, fascinating is doing a lot of heavy lifting in that sentence.
Criminy.
But yeah, about me and a coffee machine. One time I was back in college, I was really half asleep and wanted to make myself coffee, and I didn't realize there was a short in the coffee maker.
Why this bin is okay to steal from and the other one not?
Yeah. So I tried to turn on the coffee maker and I got electrocuted. So I tried to turn on the coffee maker and I got electrocuted. So I tried to turn on the coffee maker and I got electrocuted.
So I guess the moral of that story is you ended up not needing coffee after all.
I kept on trying to turn the coffee maker on for like 7 more times before I finally got awake enough to realize I'm being electrocuted.
God.
Eliza. I already told you about this one, Zen.
Eliza.
Oh.
Well, glad to know that was your shocking experience.
Ironically, it was not a short one.
Sorry, I should be reading this off to people. Got off such a chair and chapter of the brand new Halcyon Helen serial. Never knew you never liked that. I got advanced copies. You overseeing Orcavist knows. Yarbo, I must admit that when your old superior described you as a misanthropic, law-damned redacted, I did not think you would ever acclimate to a position so many others have loathed. Productivity is at an all-time high, and what's more, you've only impressed many visitors with your wonderful attitude. But you somehow seem to get along well with the wasp mosquitoes, or at least they haven't killed you yet. I feel like the slugs are probably like baby wasp mosquitoes.
Baby
Time, 15-minute break to be taking your discretion. Quick rhetorical question for you. Let's say theoretically that one of the witness exploration reserve keepers got drunk and thought he'd indulge himself with some after-hours hunting. Let's say he theoretically released our primals, and those primals theoretically proceeded to beat him to death with his own rifle, then escaped to the orchards. Obviously, I'm just worrying for the sake of worrying, but if something like that were to happen, I'm not saying it did, especially since such a script would cost me my job. Theoretically, Rizzo's may have tested some of their products in these primals. These primals may have acquired taste for Rizzo's booze that I know you have stocked in the orchards. Like, if you see any wayward primals, I'm not saying you will, please follow the law, send me a message. Criminy. This place is messed up just on so many levels. It's constantly so many ways these people have just like, you know, just taking their space capitalism to new extremes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting the forced morality slugs. And keep in mind, the electrocuting awake is presumably on the people with the slugs.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
Forgive me for being bold, but at this point, I feel like this is more like space communism now.
No.
And it's clearly space capitalism.
Yeah, no, this
I'm
is
not saying it as a
capitalism.
joke. Like, anything for the cash.
Timeline discrepancy detected. Congratulations, Inspector. You've discovered more footprints belonging to the deceased actress known as Halcyon Helen.
I honestly thought you were going to go in a different direction. Like, forgive me for saying this, but I don't think I like their policy.
Dang it, that's actually a good one.
They
Pretty
might
good at-
have, dare I say, gone too far.
Or maybe they didn't go far enough.
More slugs.
You know, if
Maybe
one
it's
slug
shocking.
improved, if one slug improved productivity, I bet 5 slugs would do even better.
Even though I haven't actually seen the episode, I'm thinking that, like, season 1 TNG episode, like, the slug likes you. Like, it wants you. It doesn't want the other person. It wants you.
Maybe they should put a slug on top of another slug, like put the slug on the slug.
That first slug would be very happy.
Hey, what are you doing in here? Are you
Dr.
authorized
Hugo
to be in
Strange?
the conservatory?
Carter Reynolds.
Are you trying to give me a heart attack? Are you my ex-wife? No, she fell
You
off
gotta
a
have a
slide
heart
with
before you have an
Aridanos under
attack.
mysterious
Oh.
circumstances 6 years ago.
Is he blind?
Rendering our
I think he is, yeah.
contract null.
I honestly thought it was like crazy mad scientist glasses or goggles.
I mean, it's just possible.
That can't be it either.
If he's blind, why would he even need them?
Well, blind people wear sunglasses. They don't see their eyes. That's like an old like stereotype.
Oh, you know what? Fair.
You're right.
Oh,
The
I
first
think
time I returned from beyond the grave to exact my revenge.
Very funny. If you were Edna, you would have stabbed me in the throat halfway through the second word of my first question.
I love how that's how he knows you're not his ex-wife. I'd already be dead.
I'm getting old, damn it. And after a while, anything that isn't a plant gets hard to distinguish from anything that is. But no, you don't look like Edna.
All right, so he's not blind, but he might have eyesight problems.
Blood and starch
Yeah.
degrees.
But
You must be that freelance inspector. Well,
Huh.
I suppose you can poke around as you like. Believe
Speaking of,
hell, standing up like this makes a body forget how stiff he gets, bent over plants all day.
I'll bet.
Oh, seems I'm not as young as I feel.
Brother, you know it.
But I'm just like reminding me of those classes in like Doctor Strange in the Arkham games. I just love how they keep having to say Dr. Hugo Strange because if they said Doctor Strange, it would be like a little too weird.
Yeah.
which is kind of funny, being since Dr. Hugo Strange actually predates Doctor Strange.
Yeah, just like Captain Marvel predates Captain Marvel, but they gotta call him Shazam now.
I would have had a harsh word for her. I heard she pushed her way into a tour of the RR&DD labs not soon after. She's just a serial actress. Yet she acts like she's deserved of the same access as a co-CEO.
She found something here. She
Well,
was
she's not
probably
going
going to
anywhere
expose
ever
the
again.
space slugs.
Which is a shame, of course. Taken too soon and all.
You're a botanist, right?
You know,
What do you do for
I
Rizzo's?
sit inside and I look at plants. Goal is usually to make Rizzo's fruit products hardier and sweeter, but for every success, there are a couple of hundred failures. Example, tried breeding native triticale with a foreign strain. Would have called it hexticale. In the end, it bred so fast, workers were swallowed up before they could harvest it. That one, I think, can be attributed to the waspitos. Some lament their irritability, but their productivity is unmatched. What's a few dead workers in the architecture?
I swear to God, we're going to end this playthrough of us just burning everyone. It's like going from planet to planet and just like burning through everyone who supports this crap.
You know, I'm okay with that.
You'd be the first to. Everyone else just says, I got bark instead of a heart. They just don't understand me, not like my plants do.
He's gonna turn someone into a plant someday, isn't he?
Probably.
Maybe himself. Like, finally, I've become like what I've always wanted to be.
He is Groot.
Yeah.
Timeline discrepancy. Congratulations, Inspector. you've discovered more footprints belonging to the deceased actress known as Halcyon Helen.
Oh, Febmon, is that like a missed rhythm joke? I've only played the first Mist. I'm behind.
I've only played the first Mist as well.
I have not played Mist at all. I should do so at some point.
I kind of have a bit of a grudge against Mist, but even although I shouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I know about that one with the Journeyman project.
Yeah.
But Linkara, I'm actually curious as to what you would think of Mist today, because that was one of those games that, like, a lot of people played back in the 90s, and they're like, these graphics are insane, even though you're clicking from one screen to another, so, like, you don't get to run around freely. But it felt like, oh, you're in this big island, this big world, and you can explore it and everything, but it was super obtuse.
Speedy Gonzalez over here.
Right? Like, I remember being really proud of myself for figuring out how to not beat, but just enter 2 of the levels. I was like, that's it, I'm genius, it's over. That's a terrifying enemy.
Workplace malaise is moral bankruptcy. Morale improvement.
That's so messed up.
God,
it's like
these people.
gaslighting on top of just being miserable. Lost Soul, I beat the hell out of System Shock 2 back in the day, and it's readily available now, so much the better. But I've only played the first System Shock very, very recently, and it's very good. I need to play the remake, though.
I've never played any of the System Shock games. I've played BioShock.
Well, then you've played, congratulations, you played System Shock 2.
I also played BioShock 2 and BioShock Infinite.
Oh, what can I say about those? Those are original games that are not System Shock 2.
I like BioShock 2 the most for some reason.
BioShock 2 has the best combat mechanics and motivation to, like, learn enemy techniques and stuff like that. People complain about its story, but, like, I didn't care because I couldn't predict every single plot point that happened because I played System Shock back in the late 90s. Or System Shock 2, I mean, sorry. You might like System Shock 1, but it's, like, very obviously designed to be a PC game. Like, it's pretty clunky, but I hear the remake is very user-friendly, even on console. Apparently the remake's, like, really good.
Citadel Station.
Citadel Station, I only played 2 back in the day, so there'd be that graffiti in blood, remember Citadel, and I'm like, what? What is that?
I guess the computer games that I played the most back in the late 90s were... I played the heck out of the Fallout games.
Mm-hmm.
Morale improvement program. Don't be you, be better.
This is the worst. Like, fuck this.
I played a butt ton of Deus Ex.
Yeah, Deus Ex is where it's at. A friend introduced it to me in, I want to say, middle school. I eventually got a hold of it, and it's probably my most beaten FPS.
I was introduced to the original Deus Ex by my math teacher.
Good shit. But yeah, I really do live up to the meme, where it's like, I've told you this already, Eliza, you've heard this before, but chat has not, where, you know, every time you get a new computer, you know, I spent thousands of dollars on a brand new graphics card, I have like 78,000 gigs of RAM, time to reinstall Deus Ex.
I mean, heck, that's one of the first things I did on this new laptop.
That's all you can do, it's a great game. The gameplay is better in Human Revolution, but the first game stuck to the principles better of, like, having choice and having it matter.
Yeah.
It's like, Human Revolution forced you to kill the bosses, and even if you didn't, the cutscenes would show you killing the bosses.
Which is why I think Mankind Divided is actually better than Human Revolution.
Yeah, I still have to play that one, but I'm glad to hear that it's probably better. Also, I'm going to throw out a somewhat controversial take. Do you know Deus Ex The Fall?
Yes.
It was a mobile game that was ported to Steam. Better than it's not the best game, obviously, but it's better than it has a right to be.
Oh yeah, There's been several mobile games that are better than they have any right to be.
Yeah. You can't jump, but the levels are designed around you not being able to jump. Like, it works better than you think.
Like, there's one mobile game that I thought was, that I've got recently playing that I think is way better than it has any right to be. And it's Final Fantasy based.
Oh god, which one is that?
It is called Final Fantasy. Where is it on here?
Is it a mobile title?
It's a mobile title. I'm trying to find it on my phone.
Oh, okay. No, I was going to say,
Parasite
I'm
Jelly.
not aware of the mobile titles. For a second, I thought you might have been referencing, like, that WiiWare game. Like, oh, someone has that?
Congratulations, Inspector. You've discovered more footprints belonging to the deceased actress known as Halcyon Helen.
She's really covered a lot of ground, huh?
Yeah. Wonder if she ran into all this crap too.
Maybe she's the one who killed the robots.
She's really good.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
Nearby.
Your time discrepancy nearby.
Inspector, you've discovered more footprints belonging to the deceased actress known as Halcyon Helen.
But probably the main thing, like, again, I love Deus Ex Human Revolution, but the main thing that bugs me about it is that they made hacking not only fun, but also the ideal solution, even if you found the password, because you get experience through hacking. Whereas in the original game, hacking was what you did if you couldn't figure out the password.
It's called Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis. It has gotcha elements, but since I don't have money, I just ignore the gotcha elements.
Yeah, just fuck it, yeah. My problem with mobile games is that they die, and like any game's online servers die, but mobile games are just erased from existence unless they're not ported.
Like, I play a lot of games that have gotcha mechanics, and there are a lot of them are very fun if you don't use the gotcha mechanics.
These are
I
tough.
say again, these monsters are terrifying. It's like something out of Berserk with their weirdly human faces.
Yeah.
Happy workers lead to happy customers, and happy customers are repeat customers. That's probably true.
No, that's just general good advice. I've said this before. I've said that before. Like, it's just happy customers are repeat customers.
Yeah.
But the customers aren't always right. That's something to also remember.
The customer is always right in terms of taste, is what the full phrase is.
So Lost Soul,
Okay, so that's the actual phrase.
yeah, and Lost Soul is asking, does Deus Ex Machina come from Deus Ex games? No, it's the reverse. Deus Ex Machina means God from a machine, which was used in the ancient, like, it actually says this on the box of the original game, but in like ancient Greek like plays or something, when a god or whatever plays that feature,
They would
ancient
sometimes
Greek-
just have the gods come down to resolve the situation.
Yeah, they would like come down like on a string or something. Like it was literally a machine. Like they would be like put up on a platform or something. But it's more colloquially used to refer to something that suddenly resolves a situation that like the
Makes it
writers wrote
easy.
themselves into a corner. They figured a way out. Don't worry about it.
And it's Roman plays, not Greek plays that it comes from.
Roman, excuse me. But if you've ever seen, do you remember the movie Dodgeball?
Yes.
Remember how at the very last second they walk in with a giant comical pirate treasure chest that has like the funding they needed? The chest had Deus Ex Machina written right on it. It was amazing.
To be fair, there's a lot of Deus Ex Machina at the end of that, like Chuck Norris.
Yeah, it's a lot of bullshit, but like they directly call it out. They're like, we know, that's why it's funny. Like, you know what? All right.
And Dodgeball is such a fun movie.
Chuck Norris, and that's like the last line of the movie.
Like, my favorite line in that film is, if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
I really like when the bad guy, like Ben Stiller, introduces his villainous team, and he's like, Blaze, Laser, Laser. It's so dumb.
If you can dodge traffic, you can dodge a ball.
Yeah, probably true, but damn.
To be fair, as somebody who used to play Human Frogger, don't do play Human Frogger.
I saw Seinfeld play Human Frogger. Well, George on Seinfeld.
Listen to my advice and do what I say, not what I do. Because I did all the stupid stuff growing up. Oh. Seriously, those faces are very creepy on the Ravagers.
Yeah, the Ravagers really are terrifying. They feel like they're from the wrong game with those weirdly human faces.
Yeah.
They also have
Oh
booze.
my god, that's a legit scare.
You were still alive!
Wow,
You're
Linkara,
drunk.
I didn't know you were continuing Spooktober.
You missed! You missed! It was like 3 feet
Oh,
in front
God,
of you!
that took off half my health in one shot. Ow.
That's
You missed it with a cannon!
Fortunately, it auto-saved me there.
That is fortunate.
That is fortunate. Just be careful not to wake up the one that is playing dead.
It's not playing dead, it's drunk.
Oh, it's drunk?
Yep.
Yeah,
they
when he was
stole the
searching one of
booze.
those bodies, it said drunk Ravager. Or maybe when he was fighting, I couldn't tell.
It's a drunk
Like a log.
hunter. Shot! Dear God, that's terrifying.
There are Ravagers throwing rocks, and this guy is just raving.
He's insane. The parasites have driven him mad.
Oh, well.
Well, I mean, you might think of Demolition Man when you want to eat Taco Bell, but when I was eating Taco Bell, I think it was the time that I actually forgot to remove the wrappers while eating Taco Bell.
I might have had Taco Bell like once in my life. Like my family never really like got into that. Same with McDonald's, honestly. Like I literally couldn't tell you what McDonald's stuff tastes like.
Well, there's this one time when I had forgotten to eat for 3 days or so. So my friends dragged me to Taco Bell. And I had eaten like 3 tacos before I realized I had forgotten to remove the wrappers.
Oh dear.
College was weird.
Ooh. Oh, a flaw.
I don't need flaws. I'm awesome.
You're Cole Aidman.
I am Cole Aidman, space dude. Also, man, flamethrower's running out of ammo.
I wonder how often you're gonna run into people who recognize you. Like you're that actress from that TV soap opera. That's right. I'm also hot and thirsty.
Congratulations, Inspector. You've discovered more footprints belonging to the deceased actress known as Halcyon Helen.
Damn, footprints, yeah, they're fun.
This really is like using the detective mode in Batman.
But you know, as cool as that mode was, like there was literally never a reason to turn it off. So you're just playing the entire game in like X-ray vision.
Yeah. What they should have done is made it so that you could only use the detective mode in certain points of time.
That would be cool. Or I mean, you would end up just constantly pinging this to be fair. But if it were just a ping rather than a constant thing that was on.
Yeah.
Or a cooldown.
Yeah.
Or a cooldown.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
So has the only discrepancy you found been like footprints?
Hey.
Well, there's a couple of dead bodies as well.
Okay.
There's a picnic here.
You know, Mega Bob, I beat Arkham Knight, and I don't even remember that. Enemies that tracked you in detective mode to get you to stop using it.
Elite Trooper Armor Platinum.
I honestly remember nothing from Arkham Knight other than how bad the Riddler segments were in that.
The segments were fine. The problem is there was like 1,000 of them. Like, goddamn, dude.
There was too much car.
Yes,
You know what?
there
I
was
think
way
it is
too much
time to swap up a bit for our armor. How do I equip it? There we go.
I
There
actually
you
did all
go.
the Riddler trophies too. Like the payoff was like
Huh.
not really worth it.
That kind of almost looks like a bubblegum colored, a transparent colored flat version of Samus's armor.
I'm wearing trans colors.
Yeah, you're wearing transparent colors.
Hells yeah.
The shoulders are kind of Samus, yeah.
Yeah, we're running out of ammo for stuff too. That's gonna be a pain.
It is.
Trans lives matters.
Indeed. Alright, I'm gonna go to this next point here on the map, then I think we're gonna call it a night.
Sounds like a plan. Let's see. Kind of looks like the Doom Guy 2016 armor. It kind of does.
Cole Aidman,
the-
the pink-ish ranger.
Yeah, the Praetor Doom armor. Sort of. That is some bulky armor. Like, you are a freaking brick in Doom.
Yeah, we kept getting our asses kicked though, so I think it's time for us to just finally wear some armor.
Yeah.
Maybe later we can swap out to something more appropriate for Cole Aidman.
Wow, that guy can really tank. There we go. Frenzied host. Oh boy.
Yeah, I don't know if you've been paying attention, but yeah, these people, like, some person was about to burst, that we fought big parasites.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't notice the thing said frenzy though.
Yeah.
I just saw the crazy people running at you.
And there's
a rupturing host.
You know what? Gotta say, don't approve. And you know that their corporate overlords are going to consider this an inconvenience, but acceptable losses. Yeah, there's a giant slug. Less than good, less than good. Man, I thought the other planets sucked.
We keep finding whole new ways for these planets to suck.
I'm actually very curious as to what the final planet is going to be in terms of, like, suckitude.
Oh, you'll see. I've beaten this game before. It's fun beating. It's fun playing this game.
Criminy.
Yeah, I never played any of the Fallouts.
I have loved Fallout since Fallout 1.
I remember seeing a bit of Fallout 1, and I was like, oh, it's kind of like Baldur's Gate, but, like, I had never really, like, got anywhere in it.
I also play a lot of Baldur's Gate 1 and 2.
I beat the first Baldur's Gate, that's it.
I really want to play Baldur's Gate 3, and I will someday.
I probably will too at some point.
And I especially want to someday do it multiplayer with people, because that sounds like fun.
You might also try Disco Elysium, which is Baldur's Gate 3 before Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah, but I've also heard that Disco Elysium has a lot of photosensitivity warnings.
Oh, didn't know about that. I just knew it was, like, very satirical.
And that's what makes me not want to play it, because it's like, ooh, I don't know how bad that is, because I've seen the warnings on it.
Yeah, yeah.
Miss Helen was at this lab too. We're close to finding something. I can feel it.
Alright.
RR and DD labs? What?
I think I'm gonna go lie down.
Mm-hmm.
Night. Tell everyone I see night.
Night, Zen.
Night, Zen.
Good night.
Yeah, night.
I'm just looting what I can for now.
Well, if it's not nailed down, steal it. And then if it is nailed down, try to find a way to remove the nails so you can steal it. And then steal the nails as well.
Of course. I can sell those nails. Alright. TLE, we'll get your super chat in a minute. Let's go in here. We'll investigate, then we will call it a day.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, loading screen. How nice. That'll do it.
Don't be you, be better. Yikes.
Ridiculous research and dirty development. It's Rizzo's.
So do you think eating the purple berry, like, do you think the purple berries are, like, parasite eggs, and you just eat them, and you're like, oh, what a nice berry, and then you get the slug?
Maybe.
But then again, the slugs are on the outside.
If you still possess the majority of your mental capacity, please locate the test room through the lobby and to the left. You'll see me through the glass.
I heard the slugs.
Part now. Oh, it took me a while to remember how this part of the story went.
Let's see. We need ammo. Let's first sell junk.
T Elite says, "Why do I almost always let people vote on what book I cover, so they can't blame me for stuff within the books I or they are unaware of? For example, Prince Shizor levels of piece of garbage."
To be fair, that's the reason why I opened my Throne account, so that way people can start,
Skill points available.
Buying games that they want me to play, so that way I can't be to blame for me always playing the same kind of games, because I will always default to the same kinds of games that I like to play.
Yeah, I alternate between what I choose and what someone else chooses.
That's what I'm doing with my Throne account now. People want me to play a different game? Throne account, because I don't own a lot of games. I mean, I own some games, but almost all of them are like
Well, average
standard
chemical waste
RPGs.
corporation on some otherwise unrecognizable day when employee of the
Survival
story
horror.
started shift lead a little too far to the chemical quad, dropping a single purple berry that had been hidden in his jacket pocket. Instead of being immediately fired for his hazardous incompetence, the employee was given an ultimatum by a supervisor: retrieve the fallen fruit and stay employed. The employee jumped to the vat, swam the purple berry, and accidentally swallowed it. The rest is history. After he was pulled from toxic waters, the stir stated that the chemical-coated purple berry hadn't been half bad before falling into toxic coma, giving his supervisor the idea to sterilize and adjust the chemical mixture for human consumption. Soon, the sour, sweet, seed-coated purple berries were more or less edible, becoming Rizzo's first mass-marketed product, the Purple Berry Bunch.
That's what they're like. That they're publicly broadcasting this as a positive.
Yep. Danny Fenlon, which non-rigged jigsaw trap is the most bullcrap in your opinion?
Non-rigged.
I don't know if you count this as rigged. The shotgun trap, where you have the where you have to choose two people to survive.
The shotgun carousel, yeah.
Yeah, the shotgun carousel, because like multiple people dying. What the hell? You're supposed to be giving everyone a chance to live, which I suspect that was a Hoffman trap, because Hoffman was kind of a dick like that.
Yeah. I'm going to have to go with non-rigged.
Possibly the hook trap from Saw 3D.
I'm going to go back to the very first one, and that'd be the key to the shackles for the photographer's shackles, which were on his chest while he was in the tub.
To be fair, they later explained that clearly it was supposed to be tied down so it wouldn't go down the drain. But Amanda was pissed off at Jigsaw and just tossed it in.
Yep.
So like clearly Jigsaw planned to have that be an option. I hate how people say Jigsaw never killed anyone. It's like saying I didn't kill them. I just stranded them on an island with no food.
Jigsaw killed people.
Yeah, Jigsaw kills people. It's just there is a I'm trying to think what the technical term for it is, like murder by proxy, like that. It's like saying that Charles Manson never killed anybody.
Yeah. I mean,
they would not be in the situation they are in without that.
Yes. Because, yeah, Jigsaw killed people.
Oh, yeah.
I have no strong opinion whatsoever. I've never seen any of the Saw films.
They're a fascinating group of films. It's basically, considering how convoluted the plot gets, it's basically a horror soap opera.
Yep, I recently saw Saw 10.
It's very good, too.
Oh, yeah. In which Jigsaw kills people pretty much directly in that one.
Well, no, he still puts them through the trap. It's just more people it has a higher failure rate.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I want them to have a more success rate as well, because the simple truth is that, like, if we assume they're not going to get out of it, then there's no tension.
Yeah.
You need to have some of them survive in order for us to feel like, okay, will they get out of it? And Spiral made this mistake. Jigsaw, I feel like was better about it. But then again,
Yeah.
a lot of those traps are actually like a flashback.
I mean, the closest I've ever seen with Saw was with watching the YouTube channel Dead Meat and doing their kill count videos.
You do know that Halcyon Helen is a fictional character portrayed by the late actress Ruth Bellamy, yes? One can't be too sure with so many simpletons around in the day-to-day. Regardless, I am not at liberty to divulge such information with non-employees or personnel lacking security clearance level Spectrum Orange. Of course, if you were to say, contract your services to me, I suppose I could grant you clearance enough to answer your murder-related questions, Mr. Inspector.
Murder-related questions.
You see, I've found myself in a bit of a pickle. Some of my lab techs have turned rather aggressive following a recent experiment gone awry. Hence why I've barricaded myself in the lab.
Where's Science Officer Bubbles and Security Head Buttercup?
Cute.
Yes. I suppose I should make myself useful. Let me think. Ah, I know. I can remotely unlock the supply closets in the lower levels of the lab. Perhaps you'll find some useful apparatus or two in them.
The hostile way here. No, there were hostiles.
Oh no. They're quite unaware of their actions, I'm afraid. We're a research and development branch of Rizzo's, focused primarily on the Spectrum vodka line. But the specific research that goes on in this facility is utterly confidential. You understand?
Oh, certainly. Come on. Secret safe with me.
I'm a skeptic, but no, I don't believe it would be. Loose lips sink new product ships, you know?
Yeah, I mentioned. Yeah, we don't have a high enough persuade.
Happily, of course.
Here, we'll need to answer some questions afterwards.
Excellent. You have my gratitude, and soon you'll have my knowledge of Miss Bellamy's recent visit as well. Now, if you
Answering murder-related questions, employee training for people who work at Hardee's.
I believe you can dispense a sedative gas
Oh, me and Zen actually ate at Hardee's on the way back.
Defilement must be vaporized with extreme prejudice.
Yeah, I know you said you actually liked it. I haven't had Hardee's in so many years; it might be good now.
To be fair, I was surprised they removed my favorite menu from their menu. Because I used to eat at Hardee's / Carl Jr. back when I was in college, and there used to be an item they had called the Bacon Western Cheeseburger. But they removed that from their menu.
Ah, that sucks. Chaos Nightmare. Hey, Linkara, I had a question. What is a comic that you enjoy that starred a character you hate? Comic that I enjoyed that starred a character I hate. That's a tricky one. I feel like I've read some good comics with Jason Todd in them, and I do not like Jason Todd Red Hood.
For me, it'd probably be any Power Rangers comic that has Draken.
Funny you mentioned that. We got Shattered Grid finally happening at the end of the month. Originally, it was supposed to be the first of the month, but since it's the long one, I decided, you know what, let's get through the other Patreon sponsor reviews first and then get that out of the way last. So end of the month, we should have Shattered Grid. But yeah, is anyone else having trouble with Super Chat? The problem for me is that the search doesn't go through. It just stops loading after a couple seconds. It's frustrating. Sorry, I don't know why that's happening. Anyway. Well, we get Halloween episodes even after October is over. Rewatch the beginning of the stream because I addressed that. Anyway, we had some fun here. We tasted some dirt. We investigated. We died a whole lot.
A lot.
And finally, we're in some power armor, so hopefully that'll help with the dying. In the meantime, I want to thank all my wonderful guests. RNGesus had to leave earlier, but I also want to thank you, Liza.
Always great being here.
Lotus Prince.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'll be streaming tomorrow. I'll be doing Stonekeep, classic DOS game, and I'll be doing more Silent Hill 2 remake on Friday, and I'm continuing a Let's Play of Alone in the Dark: The New Nightmare now.
And Xandru.
I too will be streaming 12 p.m. Pacific time over here on Monday. Oh no, my bad, not 12, 1 p.m. Yeah, brain. Tuesday will be Helldivers, and Friday will be Mario Kart community on YouTube.
All right.
And I will be streaming my Resident Evil-thon starting again tomorrow. I had to take a quick break because I was very busy last week.
Also, I just noticed, if you look over here on the screen, you can see the magnets for the long box logos that I've already constructed. This table has a metal top, so they're attached to that.
Nice.
So that's nice. They'll be on the store soon enough. You all have yourselves a great, wonderful evening. Keep an eye out in the next few days for the Peacemaker review. I finished the script. I'm going to be filming that tonight. You all have yourselves a good rest of the evening. We'll be back next week with more of the Adventures of Cole Aidman, Space Guy.
Heck yeah.